Some checks. So, Coca-Cola has had the same logo since 1885, unchanged. And they've poured billions of dollars worth of advertising and promotion into their brand. Their look, their font, and their color are seared into the brain of nearly every person in nearly every country in this planet. So they should never change it. Never, ever, never. And they probably won't. So why would I change mine? Why would any business change their brand? Today we're going to look at my recent branding change as a case study. And I first want to analyze my old logo. Now some of you may have your membership journal in with you that has this old business card. If you've got it, pull it out and pull those old cards out. If you don't have it, take one of these so that you can compare as you're going. And if you do have your membership journal with you and you'd like to, you may take some of these cards for your journal, a couple, maybe 3 or 5, depending on how many you like to carry with you. So my old logo is hard to differentiate from the background on the front. In fact, it breaks several rules that I would never allow my clients to break today. And so that reason would maybe be enough for me. I like for my clients to have some white space around their logo, even if it's a gray background. I'm considering that white space, and I don't have any around mine. It's hard to see if you look at the back of the business card I've just passed of the old one. You can see that little logo that has the swirl around it. Well, if you look at the front, you think, where'd that swirl go? What happened to it? It got eaten up by the background. Additionally, it's really more of an Ellie graphic than an Ellie White Stevens marketing guru logo. And Ellie itself is not the name of my company. And I've on occasion gotten checks written to Ellie. They will cash. I'm grateful for that. But the biggest reason that I found that I needed a new brand is that when I started to hire assistants to work for me, when I started to hire people and put together their business cards, and I looked at it and I thought, their business card says Ellie in a big purple graphic. And it doesn't say Ellie White Stevens Marketing Guru. It doesn't say even Marketing Guru. How am I going to do this? How am I going to grow in a way that's going to scale? And I couldn't find it in that old brand. So 3.5 years ago, I started to think about what I was going to call my marketing agency. I was looking for positive growth, something that was going to communicate who I am and who I wanted to be. And one night, while on vacation, I came up with Dirt 1X, and it stands for Do It Right the First Time. So I have a small gift for each of you. These are my Do It Right the First Time magnets. So you'll all be able to slap that on your refrigerator or your filing cabinet and remember. I checked to see, the first thing I did is I checked to see if the web URL was available. And I honestly at first checked for DirtFX. And DirtFX was gone. And it was some Latin American something. And it wasn't, but when I was really excited when I found Dirt 1X, because I thought, well, that's just as good, and it actually communicates something that I want to communicate as far as exponential growth. So I've actually had the URL for this since November of 2010, and that's a really long time to think about a new brand. When I'm working with my clients, they never think about it that long, and neither do I on their behalf, but you know, something about it being my business made it like the most ultimately painful thing ever. So why Dirt 1X? Well, first, there's this incredible metaphor that I'm just in love with about good dirt, about the place where things grow and bloom and produce fruit, and the very richest soil is black soil, and that's why that font on there is black. I imagined my logo having a look that reminded me of Florentine paper. Does anyone know what that even means? Anyone? Crickets? That's okay. All right, so it's something that I saw when I was on vacation in Italy as I think I was 21 years old. And Florentine paper, it has flourishes. It has something that looks like floral, it looks like leaves, and it's in a beautiful pattern, and oftentimes it's gilded. And this is the inspiration that I gave my graphic artist in creating my logo, and it's something that's printed using old technique. And what we got reminds me of a lily in bloom. And I remember there's even a biblical reference about considering lilies and them not toiling or reaping. So in the midst of thinking about Florentine paper, I thought about how these things are called flourishes. That the artful moment, it adds beauty to something. And flourishes also implies growth and strength for a business. So business flourishes became my tagline, because my mission is to create so that business flourishes. I feel that Dirt 1X has legs. As an agency, I could have dozens of people working under me under that banner, and we could be working for hundreds of companies designing their logos and creating their branding. Ultimately, a company like mine needs a business reason to change branding, especially to change a name. If a name is hindering growth, as I feel that mine was, this is a good reason. Here are a few more good reasons to get branding from the marketing guru. Number one, an approved consistent logo has never been decided on. This is when the sign is different than the business card, is different than the letterhead. It all looks kind of like a big hot mess. Number two, the existing logo is not legible. A company like Coca-Cola can afford to use a scripty font logo because they've paid billions to brand it. But for a small business, this makes bad business sense. Number three, the logo belongs to someone else. It's clip art or something unoriginal. I got it off the internet, it's not a logo. Number four, it's an ugly brand. You guys have all seen them. You've looked at a logo and your head turns sideways. You think, that's not very attractive. Anything that's going to ruin somebody's professional image kills their credibility, and so that's another reason. I'm Ellie White-Stevens, Marketing Guru.